Get motivated with Mr. Smiles, Vinny Chopra. He is also known as Mr. Enthusiasm. He will share and challenge you each week on great topics on how to get excited, how to really make things happen in your business, and change your life for the better. Here is Vinny with this week's Motivation Inspiration.
Hi guys, welcome to your weekly Motivation Power Talk with Vinny Chopra, also known as Mr. Smiles. My name is Alicia DeBrow, and I had the privilege to interview this man each week, and he is one of the most positive and successful, motivating people in the syndication world to date. And to be honest, one of the people I've met. I had a privilege to build a relationship with this man. And you may have heard his story. It's really, really incredible, especially for somebody who's so motivated to have that passion and go through everything that he's gone through. I mean, he came to this country with $7. And I was worth like $250 million. It's ridiculous. I mean, he's just incredible. So I hope you guys enjoy this. You can check him out on Facebook Live every Friday at 10 o'clock Pacific, AM. You can also reach him at vinnychopra.com. So here he is. He's always excited. He's always smiling. Hey, Vinny, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Alicia. Thank you. It's such a pleasure. It's early morning here in California. I live near San Francisco in a small town called Danville, which is in the East Bay. And we've been living here for 39 years. Oh my gosh. It's so wonderful. And I've been married also 39 years. I look 39 years of age. I know. But, it's all the mindset. It's the mindset. And I really get up in the morning. It's so exciting. I don't know if people know that. I will be 67 years of age, August 27th this year. August 27th. So my birthday is coming up, guys. And remember, I love dark chocolate and I love fruits.
I know about the dark chocolate.
They're good for health.
Pull back in from our podcast.
Yes. Avocados. Of course, walnuts, almonds, honey, and all this good stuff, which gonna keep you young. That's the name of the game, right? And also to have that passion to live each day to the fullest. That's the other thing, what keeps me young. I hope I look young.
You do. You don't look 67 for sure. Sure. I don't know about 27, but that's
maybe 47. Okay.
I can work in the late 40s.
Late 40s. Okay. All right. So that's about 20 years difference.
Yeah.
By my number.
I would say more than 50s.
Yes. But the thing is, see, it's the number. God gave us that number, right? It's a number, but the number is, it's just a number. Age is a number. I have always felt that. And I used to tell our two kids, oh, by golly, every birthday you're getting older, but every birthday daddy's getting younger. I've been saying that for 40 years. And I tell them, we're going to cross each other one day. So as they come this way, I go back this way. Anyway, that's my philosophy of keeping young and whatever. And, a lot of people think that, Alicia, that we should really wither. I shouldn't use the word, but wither away. At 50, they think they are so old. 60, they think they need to retire and watch TVs and this and that, which is okay if that is what your goal is in life. But the thing is, I think I'm so passionate about next 20, 30 years because we want to have a great life. I don't want to be a vegetable in a hospital and, on a tube or anything like that. I gave my, consent that, my wife should just cut it off if I become that way. I don't want to live. I want to live a passionate life.
Yes, no, and you do. And that actually is that kind of brings us to the subject today, which is weekly goals or goals in general. So your goal is to live life to its fullest and take it to the wheels, ride it till the wheels come off.
Yes.
But let's talk about, let's just bring it down weekly. And we can bring it up. I would like to actually talk about lifetime goals, monthly goals. Goals in general is the subject. So what would be a weekly goal for you compared to a monthly or quarterly or yearly goal?
Totally, totally. Again, all these goals that we set in our life, they come from long-term goals always. We have to really, the dreams are there on the top, right? We always dream while we are awake, we dream while we are sleeping, we dream. Our conscious and the subconscious, those are the two important parts of our psyche. I mean, that's where we live with. The subconscious does not know good from the bad. I want to talk to you about that because we make conscious decisions while we are awake, and we make some really good decisions because we know what's good, what's bad. But when we are subconscious, when we are sleeping, when we are, just not thinking, but subconsciously, that is the movie camera which is recording everything in our life, what's happening. But subconscious does not know any good from the bad. Okay. Oh,
so actually, I never thought about that.
Exactly. Subconscious subconscious cannot make a decision, whether it's good or bad for us. So conscious needs to be programmed so that we do our thinking in such a way, in a positive way, in a passion for life, in goal setting and everything. So the subconscious starts working in a positive arena. Let's just say that, right? In my humble terms, the big thing is if we can really master our subconscious, oh my gosh, we are done. We could be living like a most successful person in this world. But let's talk about goals. See, a lot of us dream. I used to dream a lot, when I was young and when I was not have much at all. We have a humble beginning in India. And I just made up my mind, I think in junior high school or something, I said, I want to live a better life because, we had very meager things. I had a bicycle. My dad had a bicycle. We never had a car in our life in India. We never had a refrigerator in our home till I was high school, I think. We never had a television at all in our home. And we had a small radio. And my dad was very strict, which is good. I'm really giving tribute to my dad because he would hold a school. He will hold a school with all the siblings every night after dinner. After dinner, every night we were to be in our place right there and doing our homework and learning the topics that the teacher was going to teach next day. Oh my gosh. It's a whole different thinking. He felt like if he could teach us and guide us to a path of success, what the teacher is going to be teaching next day, that's really is, got me going. And, and I topped in the university, in the high school and this and that. I got into the rhythm of that. But let's talk about weekly goals like you asked me, right? So from the dreams, we need to write down goals. Dreams are dreams, but if we put the deadline to those dreams, or so as to speak, if I want to become that person, I want to make that much money, I want to be a better husband, I want to be a better father, things like that. If we write them down, then we could break it down to 6-month goal, 5-year goal, a 3-year goal, 2-year goal, 1 year, and then monthly and then weekly, then daily goals. Okay. So answer your question in a very one sentence is we got to be focused. We got to be focused on accomplishing certain goals on a weekly basis so that we are a better person. We are a better CEO, or we are a better father or husband or wife, whatever. As we were last week, give yourselves a feedback. Did I grow in that category or not? So the goals have to be specific. They need to have a deadline.
And that's actually my next question is about writing them down. Is there a certain pattern or thing that you state that you use? Like, okay, my goal is to be a better mom. Well, okay, what am I going to do to achieve that?
Yeah.
This is my timeline for doing that. Is that
sure.
How does it work? How do you do yours?
Totally. Write them down. They need to be specific. Everybody knows we need to be specific. We have to have deadline. They need to be measurable. We have to give feedback, and they need to be stretching us. See, we should not write goals which we could do it quickly, like that. So then, of course, you need to go to a next level where they stretch us. They need to stretch us so that we feel accomplished. See, by reaching goals, the thing is, I think 83% or something I read, people just have goals in mind, in the air. They don't write them down, So I think just the process of writing it down and then looking at that goal in the morning, when we get up. And I used to have a lot of affirmations. That's who I was. Now also I do that where I write down these affirmations, having accomplished that goal. Affirmation is whatever goal you have, I want to be that person. You just say, I am that person now because, and then you read that in the morning, at nighttime, before we sleep. So if we do those, or in the car, I used to have tape and I'll put my affirmations in the car on the dashboard. That's what shaped my thinking because it reminded me of my goals. So whenever I deviated in a different path, and mind does wonders, doesn't it? Right? We could think one thought can take us to a different place. But if we can just be focused on our goals, weekly and daily goals, we'll accomplish so much.
No, I completely agree. And I actually want to go a little bit deeper into holding accountability for, writing down your goals or whatever. Is there another way to hold yourself accountable besides just writing them down and, putting them on your mirror or putting them in your car or doing stuff like that? What are other ways you can hold yourself accountable with your goal setting?
Good point. I am really a believer of one page. A lot of people in my life over the years, people who have worked with me, my team members, they have shown me their plans. There are 10 pages, 15 pages, 20 pages long, what they want to accomplish in their life. And I always look through them, skim through them. I don't have too much patience of reading too much. I just tell them, what are your 5 important goals that you want to do this month? Just don't give me your life, the whole thing. Just tell me 5 things you're going to accomplish this month, why they're important, and how you're going to accomplish it. See, if we can narrow it down to smaller number of goals, it's
more obtainable.
It's more attainable, exactly. Otherwise, if we have 30 different goals and you say, oh my gosh, you know what?
I have too much to do.
Yeah, too much to do. It overwhelms us. See, we are ineffective if things overwhelm us. And then you also feel bad because you are not accomplishing, 22 goals. You reached 8 goals for the month, but 22 you didn't. But don't worry because, see, you will have time. A lot of these goals, when you accomplish, I really believe in 80-20, Alicia. In other words, 20% of what I'm going to do today is going to get me 80% of the results. And that is in life because a lot of fluff is there. Lots of different wastage of time is there in every day, driving time, not just, emails and all that stuff, social media that can cripple you, and thinking negative in every day. How much time do we spend, poor me? What am I doing here? Why is it not happening for me? All that stuff. Don't do that. Just think about what's the activity, what's the goal that you wrote it down for today, and are you accomplishing it? It's really, I want to take a little time right now to kind of share what has ingrained in my mind is Stephen Covey. I think that was Stephen Covey in one of his lectures on in the book also. He talks about a jar. So there was a big audience, and in the jar, he had a lot of water in it. It was an empty jar. There was a jug of water, and then he had some pebbles, some sand, some rocks. And then he tried to put the sand in the jar first. Then he tried to put some pebbles in there and everything. And then he almost topped the jar. He said, oh my gosh, I forgot to put the water. Then he put the water. Now the jar was full. And then he said, oh my gosh, these rocks, 4 pieces of rocks are outside. I forgot to put them in.
Yeah.
And then he tried to put the rocks in the jar. The water spilled out and, the sand came out. It was a big mess. Then he said, you know what? Let's just take another approach to the whole thing. Let's take another jar. And that was over there. Then he tried to put the rocks first. 4 rocks, he put it. Then he put the pebbles. Then he put the sand. Then he put the water. So he showed both the jars. One had the rocks in it, and one was a big mess. And that's what we do in our daily schedules, in our life, actually. This is a metaphor that has stayed in my mind for 40 years or 30 years whenever I read that or watched it in a video or I saw Stephen Covey. I don't remember it. But the thing is, that's what we do. We got to put the most important activities in our day. We got to put them. We got to concentrate on those 4 rocks or the 4 important goals. We are talking about goal setting. Yeah. Those 4 important goals, we need to keep in mind what I am doing right now to accomplish those goals. Because if those 4 rocks are in there, the goals are in the jar of today, we're going to be able to accomplish a lot more rather than putting sand and pebbles and water and this and that. So if we concentrate on most effective activities, we'll be a better person.
No, I agree. And actually that I have been guilty of this myself. Like being consistent with this process, I think is very important because I remember one month I was coming out of like summers are weak for me because everybody's on vacation and whatnot. And with what I do, which is branding, people are on vacations with their kids or whatever the case may be. And I was coming out of the summer months. And I'm like, okay, I need a 10 grand month. I need a 20 grand month. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's what, I'm used to that during the year, but during the summers, they're a little bit rougher. So I remember I had took a sticky note and I wrote, I'm going to have a 10 grand month this month and a 20 grand month next month. And I had put it on my mirror in my closet or in my bathroom. And every day I would see it, and actually I blew it out of the water the first month. I hit like 15. The next month I hit 25. So I was able to accomplish my goals, but then I found myself that I haven't done it since. I was just thinking about it today. I'm like, okay, I'm going to put down my weekly goals today. And I want to put them on my mirror so I see them in front of my fridge because I work from home. So I'm going to do, but I think the consistency aspect of, doing goal setting is extremely important, don't you?
It is. You hit the nail on the head. Alicia, the thing is, I think once we accomplish, I would like to say that once we accomplish small goals or big goals, we should reward ourselves. See, we are a creature of feeling good. We really are. Like Tony Robbins says, we move towards pleasure. We go away from pain. And that's the truth. So we need to really give ourselves positive feedback and then celebrate. I'm the kind of person, and a lot of people who are listening to me and you, I hope they do reward themselves. It's a small thing. An ice cream, or eating something or going and bringing flowers to your wife or whatever, accomplishment, which can really make everybody around you feel that, I want to help this person to accomplish the goals. See, we are not living in this world by ourselves. We have people around us who make things happen for us too. So we need to reward ourselves and reward others who make our goals achievable, and we achieve them. So you're right. Consistency is so important. And again, if we look at it, if we have smaller goals, if we write them down and you check them off, Nowadays, so much is available on iPhone, Android, on, computers. We could just kind of, write down the goals and then check them off and give yourself pat on the back. I call it pat on the back. Hey, you accomplished it. So consistency comes with habit, changing of habit. It comes with getting focused on the activities and the results and then feel good about, hey, I didn't do it or I did do it. And if I didn't do it, Give yourself feedback. Don't batter yourself. Don't kill yourself. It's okay. Life is a, journey. Success is not a destination. It's a journey.
Yeah. And you can always get up the next day and try again. And we're going to actually do a whole video on a whole podcast on consistency and how important that is in life and business. I actually just wrote that down. While you were talking, I'm like, that's a good one. I think we should definitely talk about that and kind of go into more detail about what it means to be consistent and all that good stuff. So we'll talk about that maybe in the next show.
Sure.
But I completely agree. But I'd like to always bring it into more of your syndication academy and working with your students, because I think that has a very big influence. So how do you help your students with their weekly goals when it comes to working in the syndication business? Because a lot of what we talked about today was personal goals. But like with the students that sign up with their academy and they're looking at it like, oh my gosh, I have 50 things to do. And how do you hone it down into the top 5 or top 10 things that they need to get done in the syndication world?
Excellent. I would love to mention I'm an engineer. I was very much overwhelmed 15 years back when multifamily was introduced to me and the world of syndication. Alicia, and I said, oh my gosh, there's so much to do and so forth. So I just decided on spinning 5 plates. And that's what my book is also. My journey from $7 to $250 million book is coming out. And I just break down the whole world of syndication in simple terms that everybody can understand. And just spinning 5 plates, everybody can count to 5. So that's what my thinking was. The other thing is that we want to break down our goals in a simpler way. Because see, if we do not break them down in a simple, I ask my students, I say, what's your weekly emphasis? I meet them on Wednesdays, every Wednesday. Today, actually, I'm going to be meeting with them 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific time. And they're all over the country. Some are even around the world. The thing is, I ask them, what was your weekly goal last week? Was to see 3 new investors. Not 5, not 10, not 20, just 3. If you are just starting out, just even 2 new investors, you should reach in your circle of influence. There's like 7 circles of influence. I teach them and put it down, all the people they know, and then make that contact. Give them that educational brochure that I give it to them, and they put their own name and logos and everything. So I give them the tools to make it comfortable. And then I ask them, have you done that or not? Okay, 3 investors and 2 brokers. You got to find 2 brokers, talk to them, email them, text them. So that's the weekly goal. I really hold my students accountable. I ask them to bring deals so that we can analyze them, use my templates so that we can really discuss what their thinking is, what they're learning, and then teach them better ways to do the same thing.
Okay. And so I have another question about working with your students. So if you find a student that, they're writing on the goals, they're doing the homework, they're at least they're trying to, but when it comes to doing the follow through, so they're writing it all down, saying, okay, these are my goals. I'm going to do A, B, and C. I'm going to talk to 3 investors. I'm going to talk to 2 brokers. I'm going to text them, email them, or whatever it may be for that week. But then when it comes to the follow through, they're not getting it done. So how do you help them achieve their weekly goals? How do you motivate them? How do you, put your foot up there behind and get them moving?
That's true. That's true, Alicia. Again, we are creatures of habit. So I really like to take them to the whys, why they want to do it. If they want to become a great syndicator like me or better than me, they got to take time. I tell them, I said, how much time did you really allocate? Were you consumed with your W-2 job? Most of them, are in the W-2, but they are very accomplished people in my team, mastermind, because they have to apply for mentorship. These are the wholesalers, flippers, surgeons, doctors, attorneys, things like that. Right. So I tell them you're very successful in your business because you spend time learning that art. So please find time. And then I try to get in their psyche a little bit. I say, you can take 6 months to learn this business, or you can learn it in 3 months. Yeah. I have had students who have now coaching from me. They just listen to and watch my lectures, watch them again and again, and they're able to do so quickly the things. And after 3 months, they are ready to take on the world if they apply my techniques. So I have to bring them down, into the earth. I mean, earth meaning, setting goals and just saying, I hope you will find more time to do the things I ask you to do. But, I cannot do for them. See, that's the other thing. I cannot badger myself and say, you know what, gosh, you're not doing it. I don't want to get upset. I mean, it's up to them. If they're going to do it, it's because they want to change their life. They want to scale up. They want to really make more cash flows for their family, vacations, education, all like that. So I have to bring them down to the whys. This life is to really set the goals because we want to become somebody. We are in the process of becoming that person.
No, I agree. I always ask you at the end of each show a piece of advice, your nugget of advice about weekly goals. Give us your little nugget on what your advice would be about, achieving your weekly goals, writing them down and speed.
I would say, Alicia, everybody who's listening or watching us on YouTube or listening to the podcast, please, please, please look in your life and then go to the whys. You might have already done it, but then if you have not, please go take 1 hour, 2 hour over the weekend, sit down with your spouse if you're married or alone yourself, write it down, the whys of you, why you want to become a better person, and write it down. So the goals come from when we discover ourselves, where we want to go. If you want to be stagnant, if you want to stay where we are, you're happy where you are, don't worry about it. Don't think about, setting more goals. But if you want to grow yourself, and I believe in growth, I believe in dynamism, I believe in focusing yourself on this smaller goals to get bigger goals and get better accomplished, And the thing is, if you have a lot of money you're making, get into charities, get into youth, make it a better world. But do it by writing down the goals.
No, definitely. All right, guys, you just got your weekly motivation power talk with Mr. Smiles, Vinny Chopra. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. Come back and get motivated with us each week.
Yes.
So, Vinny can show you how to take your positive energy and take your business to the next level. I hope you guys have a terrific week. And like Vinny says, make it happen each day. You can reach Vinny by jumping on his website, which you'll find in the show notes below, vinnychopra.com. And there you can either write into Vinny and ask a question that we can talk about maybe on a later show, or you can, apply to be a part of his academy. You can partner with him and you can invest with him. So, Mr. Smiles, I appreciate your time as usual. It's always great.
Thank you, Alicia. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure visiting with you, and we'll rock on and talk about lots of topics. If some listeners, I hope you will share this podcast and everything on your social media, get other people to change the world. I think we have so much negativism in this country, in the world, actually, and I really believe that every single person, we can make them positive and understand what these goals can do to their life. Let's just make it a better world.
Love it. All right. Bye, Vinny.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Alicia. See you next week. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you.
You will be amazed at the insights Vinny will share each week. He will share his experiences. He has taken $7 to over $220 million portfolio in commercial real estate. To reach Mr. Smiles, text the word syndication to 474747 or go to his website, vinnychopra.com.